బాలిస్టిక్ మిజైల్ డిఫెన్స్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ భారత రక్షణ అభివృద్ధి పరిశోధనా సంస్థ DRDO చేపట్టిన ప్రతిష్టాత్మక సవాళ్లతో కూడిన కార్యక్రమం మన దేశాన్ని శత్రు దేశాల క్షిపణి దాడుల నుంచి రక్షిస్తోంది. ఈ విభాగంలో బ్రహ్మోస్ క్షిపణి శత్రు దేశాలకు సరికొత్త సవాళ్లు విసురుతోంది. అలాంటి బ్రహ్మోస్ పరిధిని 450 కిలోమీటర్లకు పెంచుతూ ప్రయోగ పరీక్షలు జరుగుతున్నాయి. బాలిస్టిక్ మిజైల్ డిఫెన్స్ ప్రోగ్రాంలో భాగంగా చేపట్టిన ఎండో అట్మాస్ఫిరిక్ ఇంటర్సెప్టర్ మిజైల్ ప్రోగ్రాం డైరెక్టర్ తనవంతు పాత్ర పోషిస్తున్నారు DRDOలో సీనియర్ శాస్త్రవేత్త ససికళా సిన్హా.
ససికళా సిన్హా సవాళ్లకు ఎప్పుడూ సిద్ధమనే తత్వం. ఆ మనస్తత్వమే IIT ఖరగ్పూర్లో రాడార్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ కోర్సులో చేరేలా చేసింది. 2001లో DRDOలో శాస్త్రవేత్తగా అడుగుపెట్టారు. అంచెలంచెలుగా ఎదిగారు. బాలిస్టిక్ మిసైల్ డిఫెన్స్ ప్రోగ్రాంలో భాగంగా చేపట్టిన ఎండో అట్మాస్ఫియరిక్ ఇంటర్సెప్టర్ మిసైల్ ప్రోగ్రాం డైరెక్టర్ అయ్యారు. కేవలం తాను చదువుకున్న రాడార్ సాంకేతికతపైనే కాకుండా ప్రొపల్షన్ వ్యవస్థ, ఏరోడైనమిక్స్, కెనెటిక్ హీటింగ్, రాకెట్ నిర్మాణాలపై అధ్యయనం చేశారు. నేర్చుకోవడానికి వయస్సుతో సంబంధం లేదని నిరూపించారు. నేటి తరం తల్లిదండ్రులు అబ్బాయిలతో పాటుగా అమ్మాయిలకు పూర్తిస్థాయి స్వేచ్ఛను, అవసరమైన విద్యను అందిస్తే అవకాశాలకు ఆకాశమే హద్దంటున్నారు.
Namaste, madam. First of all, I wish you a very happy Women's Day on the eve of International Women's Day. And how is your experience here in DRDO, because you are working for a long time?
Oh, I find that the work culture is extremely good, and I don't. I'm not uncomfortable at all working in this place. It's a very good atmosphere. And mentally we find a lot of challenging tasks to enable us to fulfill our goals.
Okay, how you get the chance here? It's by chance or you have chosen that one?
Oh, we have chosen. We have gone through a proper interview and selection board and
to come into this field.
Oh, it's by choice. It's by choice. I love my subject. And engineering has been always one of my passions, especially maths and physics. I do not know why children are so scared of mathematics. If they'll spend 2 hours with me, probably I'll be able to change their mind. So mathematics and physics are what led me to where I am today.
Okay, you are dealing with a ballistic missile endo interceptor. So how is the mission going on, and how are you feeling to work that?
It's a very, very challenging task. Ballistic missile defense shield is what we provide as a protective shield to the country, and this is done in 2 layers. One is in the exoatmosphere and the other is in the endoatmosphere. Together we provide what is called as the ballistic missile defense shield to the country, protecting against incoming ballistic missiles from any sector, 360 degrees, with a very quick reaction capability, and I am responsible for the endo layer.
So, protection means in what way? Or you
Protection is, to put it in a very layman's terms, you might have seen in Mahabharat where they shoot an arrow to stop the arrows coming in from the other side, right? You've seen a lot of them, like multiple arrows with multiple arrows. So it's the same actually. So an incoming ballistic missile is shot down by our own ballistic missile defense interceptor. That's why we call it as an interceptor. So it intercepts any incoming ballistic missile.
So I think it's a quick decision taking work. So how you manage that one?
Most of our systems today we have planned and programmed in such a way, and we do a lot of homework for that, groundwork for that. It is done with a totally automated system. It's a totally automated system. There is no man in the loop anywhere. So our what we call as a C4I system, that is command control computers information system, this takes care of assignment to different launchers which are strategically located, and the entire process from detection of a missile to the launch of our own interceptor. This whole process is automated. So during the development process, when we go for flight trials, the tension is maximum. But when we are there on the launch pad, everything is automated, so we are totally off hands.
Flight trials are the most important and the major stage.
Yes, development trials are the most important because not everything can be proven only when you are actually in a war situation. To be prepared for a war situation, you have to prepare the groundwork here, and that's why we go for flight trials, where we demonstrate the capability by proving it against certain systems which we build ourselves to demonstrate our own interceptor capability. So flight trials are very much important from that point of view.
If you have to take some hard decisions during that time, I think it may give some kind of negative impact on us. Do you think that, or have you managed while that situations have been faced?
Yeah, outcome of a flight trial can be two. It can be success, it can be failure. And for that we have a group of experts put together in the form of a committee which carries out a post-flight analysis. The post-flight analysis is independent of the outcome of a mission. So we look at the different aspects. If it's success, what has led to the success? And we need to have repeated successes then. So we address each and every mission is addressed with respect to this kind of analysis in full scope to ensure that we have repeatability with respect to a success. When it comes to a failure, we analyze which particular system has contributed towards it, and we critically examine the inputs which have gone into the outcome of that, and then we take remedial actions. So there is a proper process which has been established to address both.
As a project director, I think you are the responsible for everything. Yes. So if sometimes there is failures in your career, so how can you isn't it depressive, or how can you balance yourself and keep yourself motivated? Good question. We have had ups and downs, emotionally, professionally, and also to see scientifically. So to look at the problem, we need to address it in different aspects, and for that I have my own family as a support system which helps me in overcoming critical situations like that. I have a very good team which works with me, which provides me with an excellent support, and that's how we fight our battles together. I think as a leader, there is another responsibility on you, because you have to keep your people who are there in team, keep them motivated, and so how can you balance all those people and manage all those people? Interpersonal relationships is a very, very challenging task. I personally believe that it's very easy for me to handle any technical challenge which comes my way. In fact, we have a meeting every day, first thing in the morning, to address all the issues, the work to be chalked out for the day, chartered for the day, the assignments which have to be completed, and then we move on to the next day. So during this time, when we interact with each other, whether it is a personal problem or it is a professional problem, my team has been built to that extent that they should be free to walk into my door any time of the day, and whatever be the problem, it is discussed openly. So that kind of openness is what probably makes you a better person. Can you please share something about your childhood? What kind of a girl you are at your childhood days? Childhood, I think I was a very naughty person. My father always called me a tomboy because I used to go around climbing trees because I had two brothers. And it was a very difficult situation for my parents. As I was doing some, fitness as a child, I started to push that into the mental domain. So that's what keeps me fresh and happy. During your school or college days, are you a top class student or a last bencher? I used to sit in the back bench, but I have been in the top 5 ranks. So that's like a compromise. So I don't think it matters where you sit in the class. It matters how well you're able to cope with the subject which is put in front of you. If you offer to read some books, what kind of books you select? I soak up everything from science fiction to philosophy. Okay. Anything. I read Khalil Gibran, Ayn Rand, I read Sidney Sheldon, I read Jeffrey Archer, I read John Grisham. I read a lot. In fact, I read a lot. I can say that. Not a bookworm. I enjoy reading. Okay. Okay, and what about your personal life? Because you're as a mother and as a wife and professional life, as a daughter-in-law, you have to play so many roles. How can you managing all these things? That is because I think my 2 children, I have 2 daughters, Pavitra and Roshni, and they are my backbone. They are my 2 eyes, 2 hands. They provide me with the required moral support, emotional support, the strength. They even take care of everything as far as domesticity is concerned, so I don't have to worry where my dinner is coming from. So it is because of my 2 children I have been able to manage to keep the balance between my job and my home. Have you ever asked them, or have you ever feel that your kids will do the same thing what you are doing, or you are giving freedom to choose their own pathways?
They have the complete freedom to find their own wings and fly as high as they want. There is no restriction in terms of the domain that they want to work on or the field that they would like to choose, because I find a lot of parents nowadays are pushing their children into either engineering or medicine. It's not like that.
As a woman, maybe it's a scientist or a student or anybody, so at any stage of your life, have you faced any discrimination?
No, I think especially, I can say that of the scientific community. I am not really certain about the rest of the workplaces. In the scientific community, I don't think there is anything such as a gender attributed to a mind. When you sit in a meeting and you're talking to people, it's the mind which interacts with the mind, and the mind doesn't see the gender. It only sees what is the challenge which is there in front of us and how we're going to address it, and what are the things that we need to do. So I think there is no gender discrimination in the mind.
So what are the projects right now you're working, and which gives the satisfaction in your past work?
It is flight vehicle development. That is the most intriguing and challenging, and interception at different layers have their own challenges. So the challenge what we are facing at the endo-atmospheric interception right now is taking all my time.
And finally, what the message you want to give for the young women who are aspiring to achieving in different fields on the eve of Women's Day?
On the eve of Women's Day, I will tell that all of you should give your own children the freedom to be who they are, to think independently, and to grow their own wings. And the wealth that you can provide to your children is education. Once you provide education to your child, the child is independent and he or she can grow to become whatever they want. That's the message I would like to give.
Once again, I wish you a very happy Women's Day. Thank you so much.
Happy Women's Day to you too, and to the rest of the people who are watching us. Thank you very much.
Thanks, ma'am. పిల్లలు తమకు నచ్చిన రంగాల్ని ఎంపిక చేసుకునేంత స్వేచ్ఛ ఇవ్వాల్సిన బాధ్యత తల్లిదండ్రులపైన ఉందని, అదేవిధంగా అమ్మాయిలను వారికి నచ్చిన చదువును చదువుకునేలాగా తల్లిదండ్రులు ప్రోత్సహించాల్సిన బాధ్యత ఉందంటున్నారు శశికళ సిన్హా.